Have you ever wondered why truly successful and powerful individuals rarely share too much about their personal lives? They do not boast about their goals, complain about their struggles, or seek validation for their happiness. This is not indifference, it is control. We live in a world where everything can be exposed with a single click. Social media convinces us that we must share everything, from personal plans to inner emotions. But the truth is, discretion grants power. When you control what you reveal, you also control how the world influences you. For thousands of years, Stoicism has taught us, what you keep private protects you. What you expose controls you. If you seek a life of freedom, untouched by judgment, envy, or external pressures, it is time to master the art of strategic silence. Today, we will explore 5 things you should never reveal if you wish to maintain self-mastery and inner strength. 1. Your goals. Act, don't speak. There is a strange paradox in life that few recognize. The more you talk about your goals, the less likely you are to achieve them. We often feel a surge of excitement when sharing our ambitions with others. Some do it to gain support, others seek encouragement, and many simply want to showcase their grand plans. But the problem is that the moment you verbalize your goal, your brain begins to trick you into believing you've already taken a step towards success. You experience a false sense of accomplishment, which unconsciously diminishes your drive to take real action. We see this happen all the time. Someone announces they will start going to the gym, but instead of immediately working out, they spend hours talking about their plan, seeking approval from friends, or even posting about their transformation journey on social media. And what happens? A week, a month, a year passes, and they are still in the same place. The initial excitement of sharing their goal has replaced the real motivation to act. In their mind, talking about the goal has become a substitute for actually pursuing it. This is the trap so many fall into. They waste their energy on words instead of turning them into action. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, once emphasized, "Let your actions speak rather than your promises." He understood that silence grants power, and that great plans can only flourish in an environment shielded from external negativity. When you reveal your goals, you not only lose your internal momentum, but also invite doubt, criticism, and even envy from others. The world is full of people who don't want you to succeed, not because they hate you, but because your success forces them to confront their own failures. They will sow doubt, weaken your resolve, or even attempt to sabotage you. This doesn't mean you should fire or avoid society. It simply means that some things are best kept to yourself. Another crucial point: when you talk too much about your plans, you create pressure to live up to others' expectations. Even when that path is no longer right for you, you become trapped by the crowd's perception and lose the ability to adapt and adjust to changing circumstances. Successful individuals understand this, which is why they always act in silence. They don't need to announce their intentions to the world, because they know that results speak for themselves. Look at the great figures in history, those who changed the world through action, not words. They didn't waste time debating what they would do. They simply did it. True visionaries do not spend their energy proving themselves with speech. They prove themselves through their accomplishments. Just as an artist never unveils a painting before it is finished, you should not be too quick to boast about plans that are still in their infancy. A seed must take root before it can rise with strength. And the same is true for your goals. If you allow outside influence too soon, you risk draining that seed of its potential before it has a chance to grow. So, what's the solution? It's simple. Let your progress speak for itself. If you want to become stronger, transcend Don't talk about your workout plan. If you want to start a business, build. Don't waste time debating with people who don't truly care. If you want to change your life, do it quietly. True success needs no proclamation. It asserts itself through its very existence. Those who possess real strength do not seek to convince the world they are doing something great. They simply do it, and when the time is right, the world will see for itself. Starting today, focus on action. Every time you feel the urge to announce your plans, pause and ask yourself, will this actually bring me closer to my goal? Or is it just temporary gratification? Let what you do define you, not what you say. The strongest individuals are not those who make promises, but those who quietly turn their dreams into reality. 2. Your struggles. Choose carefully who you share with. Life is never smooth. Sooner or later, we all face difficulties, failures, and hardships. When that happens, the natural reaction for many is to turn to others for support, seeking empathy, or simply a release from their burdens. But the truth is, not everyone deserves to know about your struggles. Sharing with the wrong people can make you the target of pity, judgment, or even exploitation. While you may think you're seeking support, you might actually be handing over control of your emotions to someone else. Stoicism reminds us that pain is not meant to be displayed. It is a test of resilience. Epictetus once said, "Never let anyone see you suffer. Let them witness your strength instead." When we constantly talk about our hardships, we not only drown ourselves in negativity, but also allow others to see us through the lens of weakness. This diminishes our self-worth and creates opportunities for those who might exploit our vulnerability. Think about the times you've shared your struggles with someone. Did they truly care? Or were they just curious? Did they help you find a solution? Or did they simply listen, only to later turn your story into gossip? The harsh truth is that most people don't actually care about your pain. They care about how it affects them. Some may offer sympathy, but deep down, they are judging you. Others will store your vulnerabilities like ammunition, waiting for the right moment to use them against you. This is why you must be extremely selective about whom you confide in. Revealing too much about your hardships can also trap you in a cycle of self-pity. When you constantly talk about what's wrong, you condition your mind to see yourself as a victim. You focus on what has happened rather than on how to overcome it. This is why those who complain endlessly about life rarely change their circumstances. They become so accustomed to receiving sympathy that they forget sympathy does not make them stronger. Only action does. Those who are truly strong understand that they don't need to share every pain to feel understood. They accept that life is unfair, but instead of seeking pity, they focus on controlling what they can change. If you are struggling, learn to face it with composure, rather than immediately seeking someone to confide in. Ask yourself, am I sharing this to solve a problem, or just to feel better for a moment? If the answer is the latter, perhaps it's best to keep it to yourself. Of course, this doesn't mean you must isolate yourself and never share with anyone, but you must be selective about whom you trust. Not everyone deserves to know what you're going through. Seek out those who can genuinely help you, people with experience, wisdom, and most importantly, no vested interest in manipulating your emotions. This could be a mentor, a trustworthy friend, or even a book filled with the lessons of great minds. Stoic philosophers taught that inner strength is the key to overcoming adversity. When faced with hardship, don't immediately seek external help. Instead, focus on how you can solve it using your own abilities. Keep a journal, reflect deeply, and learn to regulate your thoughts and emotions before allowing someone else to do it for you. Because the moment you hand over control of your emotions, You also surrender the power to dictate your state of mind and the course of your life. Another important truth: no one is obligated to help you, and you don't need their approval to move forward. Your life is yours alone, and only you can decide who you will become. If you're facing challenges, don't use them as an excuse to seek pity. Use them as a chance to build resilience, to prove that you are strong enough to withstand whatever life throws at you. Remember, violence is not a sign of weakness. It is a testament to strength. The truly resilient don't need to broadcast their struggles. They endure in quiet discipline, sharpening their will, and when the right moment comes, they emerge stronger than ever. At that point, no words are necessary. Their very existence is proof of everything they have overcome. Starting today, learn to control what you share. Keep a part of your mind private, a space no one can touch, where you can reflect, learn, and grow without external influence. Because in the end, true strength is not measured by what you have endured, but by how you rise after it. 3. Your finances. No one needs to know if you're rich or poor. Money is one of the most sensitive topics in life. Yet many fail to recognize the power of discretion when it comes to finances. In a society where a person's worth is often measured by their wealth, it's easy to understand why people feel compelled to flaunt their riches or complain about their financial struggles. But the truth is, no one really needs to know how much money you have. Disclosing your financial situations serves no real benefit. It only makes you a target for unnecessary problems. Consider reality. If you're wealthy and people know it, you will become a magnet for envy, exploitation, and unrealistic expectations. Once others are aware of your financial status, they may start viewing you as a walking wallet, a resource to be borrowed from, relied upon, or even manipulated for their own gain. You might think you can simply say no, but pressure from friends or social obligations can make it difficult to refuse without guilt. On the other hand, if you're struggling financially and make it known, you risk being judged, pitied, or treated differently. Some will look at you with condescension, others evaluate themselves, and some will use your circumstances to diminish you in conversations. Stoicism teaches that money is merely a tool, not a measure of a person's worth. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, "A wealthy person is not one who has much, but one who needs little." This means true wealth is not about how much money you possess, but about the degree of control you have over your finances and your desires. When you obsess over proving your wealth or lamenting your lack of it, you allow money to control your life rather than using it as a tool to serve your goals. Keeping your financial matters private gives you control over your decisions. When no one knows how much you have, you are free to spend as you choose without fear of judgment. You are not pressured to maintain a certain lifestyle just to please others. You can drive an old car without criticism or indulge in personal interests without worrying about being labeled as stingy or showy. By keeping your finances discreet, you also avoid unnecessary conversations about money, discussions that often lead to comparison, jealousy, and even tension in relationships. The harsh truth that those who are truly wealthy never need to prove it. They don't flaunt, they don't show off, and they don't seek validation for their financial status. They understand that real wealth isn't found in luxury goods or bank account figures. It lies in financial control, free from external pressure. They might dress modestly, drive an unremarkable car, and live in an understated home and still possess more wealth than anyone around them. On the other hand, those who constantly try to showcase their wealth are often the most financially insecure. They spend to impress, to prove something to others, but in reality, they are letting money control their lives. They buy luxury items not out of necessity, but because they want to be perceived as wealthy. But does that truly matter? When you live to satisfy the gaze of others, you surrender both your financial freedom and personal autonomy. Of course, this doesn't mean you must completely hide everything about your finances, but you must be mindful of who deserves to know. Not everyone needs to know how much you earn, how much you save, or where you invest. Be selective about the information you share, especially with those who do not have a deep and meaningful connection with you. In the business world, the most successful individuals keep their financial matters private, not because they distrust others, but because they understand that discretion grants power. So how can you apply this principle in your life? First, stop discussing money unnecessarily. If someone asks about your income, you can answer vaguely without revealing specifics. If someone asks to borrow money, think carefully before making a decision. And remember, just because you can help doesn't mean you are obligated to. If you're facing financial difficulties, find a way to resolve them quietly, rather than seeking pity from others. Remember, no one truly cares whether you are rich or poor. They only care about how it affects them. Once you grasp this, you will realize that keeping your finances private not only helps you avoid unnecessary troubles, but also allows you to control your life on your own terms. Don't let money become a psychological burden. Don't let it define you. And most importantly, don't let it become something others can use to manipulate you. Starting today, take control of your financial information. Live free from the pressures of display and the expectations of others. Let money serve you as a tool, rather than becoming a chain that binds you to society's judgment. Because in the end, true wealth is not what you show, it is what you truly hold within. 4. Your happiness. Stop trying to prove it. Happiness is something everyone seeks, yet few truly understand. In today's world, happiness no longer seems like a personal experience. It has become something to show it sees. People flaunt joyful moments, extravagant parties, luxurious vacations, and picture-perfect relationships on social media, as if happiness only exists when it is witnessed by others. But the truth is, the more you try to prove you are happy, the less you are able to actually feel it. Stoicism teaches that happiness is not found in external displays, but in the state of our inner world. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." If your happiness only exists when others acknowledge it, then you are not truly happy. You are merely dependent on social validation. The greatest danger lies in measuring your self-worth based on how others react to your life. When you do this, you surrender control over your emotions and hand it to those around you. Imagine this. You are having a great day, feeling energized, fully immersed in the moment. Then, you post a picture on social media, but it doesn't get the response you expected. Suddenly, your mood shifts. Your joy feels incomplete. You start to question, am I truly happy if no one acknowledges it? This is the dangerous trap of seeking external validation. The moment you require others to confirm your happiness, you have already lost possession of it. True happiness does not need to be displayed, because it comes from within. Think about the best moments of your life. Weren't they the ones when you weren't preoccupied with sharing them with the world? A quiet morning with coffee and a good book, a deep conversation with someone you love, the satisfaction of achieving something after relentless effort. These moments are meaningful because you experienced them, not because someone else approves of them. When you focus too much on displaying happiness, you unknowingly place an invisible burden on yourself. You feel the need to maintain that image, even when you are not truly okay. This creates a cycle of inauthenticity, pretending to be happy even when you are not. It not only exhausts you, but also distances you from your true self. You no longer live for your own emotions. You live for the expectations of others. This is why so many people, despite having lives that appear perfect on the outside, feel empty within. Observe those who are truly happy. They don't need to declare their happiness, nor do they constantly affirm it to the world. They simply live their lives, fully embracing each moment without needing anyone else to witness it. Conversely, those who frequently display their happiness are often the most uncertain. They fear that if they don't prove it, the world will assume they are not truly happy. But the truth is, the world doesn't care as much as you think. Everyone is too busy with their own lives. What truly matters is not how others perceive you, but whether you genuinely feel content with your life. Are you savoring each moment without needing an audience? Can you sit alone in silence and still feel at peace? If the answer is yes, then you have already achieved what so many spend a lifetime searching for. One of the most important lessons of Stoicism is this: true freedom comes when you no longer care what others think of you. The same applies to happiness. When you no longer feel the need to prove you are happy. When your joy is not dictated by external validation. When you can live a life you genuinely enjoy without anyone else knowing. That is when you have truly found happiness. Starting today, stop seeking validation from others. Enjoy life in your own way, quietly yet profoundly. Find joy in the small moments without needing to share them as proof. Let happiness be your own experience, not a performance for the world. Because in the end, true happiness is not about how many people know you have it. It is about whether you truly feel it. 5. Good deeds. Do them for the right reasons. Doing good is one of the fundamental values that help us grow. But what matters most is the intention behind our actions. Does a person do good because it comes from the heart, or because they crave recognition? This is a crucial question, yet few have the courage to ask themselves. Today, many seem to act kindly only when they have an audience, when eyes are watching, when cameras capture the moment they give a gift or lend a helping hand. But if an act of kindness only happens when others are watching, is it truly kindness? Stoicism teaches that virtue requires no recognition because virtue itself is the greatest reward. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "True kindness is not something to boast about. It is simply a natural part of a noble soul." If you need an audience to do good, then your kindness is no longer pure. It becomes a transaction. You are exchanging an act of generosity for praise, admiration, or worse, an enhanced image in the eyes of others. We have become accustomed to seeing people record themselves helping the homeless, distributing charity, or performing acts of goodwill, not to truly help, but to gain validation on social media. They want the world to know they are good people. They seek applause, admiration, likes, and shares. But is that still kindness? Without the camera, without the audience, would they still be willing to help? This is the difference between genuine kindness and kindness performed for personal gain. Look at the truly great individuals. They do not boast about their good deeds, nor do they need anyone to acknowledge their virtue, because they understand that the value of an action is not in whether it is seen, but in its true impact. Those who possess real compassion know that kindness does not need to be broadcast. It only needs to be done. When you help someone, what matters is not who is watching, but whether the person truly benefits from your help. On the other hand, when you publicize your good deeds, you unintentionally strip them of their true value. Imagine giving a gift to someone in need, only to immediately take a photo, record a video, and post it online with a caption showcasing your kindness. Do you think the recipient feels comforted? Or do they feel their dignity has been wounded, reduced to a prop in someone else's performance? Not everyone wants to be a symbol of pity. Not everyone wants help that comes with public exposure. A true act of kindness should serve the one receiving it, not the one performing it. Another crucial point is that when you do good to be seen, you develop a dangerous habit, the habit of acting not for the sake of virtue, but for the rewards it brings. Over time, you lose the ability to find joy in helping others without recognition. You start measuring the value of kindness by the number of likes, comments, and shares. And one day, if you do something good but receive no acknowledgement, will you still want to continue? Stoicism reminds us that our actions must be driven by internal values, not by the gaze of others. When you help someone, do it in silence. When you do good, let it be a natural part of who you are, not something you need to showcase. If you truly want to make a difference, let your good deeds ripple quietly, because the real value of kindness is not in whether it is recognized, but in the impact it has on others' lives. So how can you apply this to your life? First, learn to do good without the need for an audience. If you want to help someone, do it quietly. If you want to contribute to your community, do it for the change you wish to create, not for the recognition of others. If you want to be a good person, live in a way that ensures you would still do the right thing, even if no one were watching. The truly strong do not need applause to do what is right. They do not require a crowd to affirm their worth. They understand that what matters is not how you are perceived, but who you truly are. Once you grasp this, you will no longer feel the need to display your kindness, because you will know that its true value lies in action, not in words. Starting today, practice quiet generosity. Give without seeking acknowledgement. Help without expecting anything in return. Let kindness be an inherent part of you, not a tool for validation, because in the end, the greatest good you can do is not to prove to others that you are a good person, but to actually be one. Discretion is not just a philosophy. It is a strategy for living that brings both freedom and inner strength. When we control what we share, we also control how the world affects us. Keeping our plans private helps us focus on action rather than words. Guarding our struggles fosters resilience instead of seeking pity. Protecting our financial status shields us from social pressures. Enjoying happiness without external validation allows us to fully experience joy. And practicing silent generosity preserves the purity of our altruism. In everyday life, each of us can apply this principle in our own way. When you have a big goal, instead of announcing it to everyone, work quietly and let the results speak for themselves. When facing difficulties, ask yourself whether sharing them will truly solve the problem or merely provide temporary relief. When someone pries into your finances, remember that no one has the right to dictate how you earn or spend your money except you. When you feel happiness, embrace it without seeking recognition, because true joy needs no stage. And when you help someone, do it because it is right, not because someone is watching. Leave a comment saying, "I choose discipline," if you commit to living a more discreet and powerful life. And don't forget to check out other videos on this channel to continue your journey of self-improvement. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss new content from us. Let's build a strong mindset together and take control of our lives. See you in the next video.